Okay, what you're going to see is I've had some requests to do a walkthrough of a dash roll. Basically what you've got is you've got your basic simple stabilisation set up as we have got here, yeah? Packed underneath the A post, and again we need to have additional stability underneath the B post to support the downward force on the ram, and if any of this is rusted out or damaged it won't just push down into the ground. Now, a couple of methods we can do here. All I'm showing you now is what you can do, as you've seen in my video for the dash lift. If you need to do a rapid extrication and we need to relocate the dash off of some lower limbs, then what we can do, same as on the previous video, is cut a section out the A post, move that away, put a relief cut in and roll the dash off of them. Okay, there is some, people will question, well, shouldn't we be taking the roof off? Ideally, yeah, roof off, but where we've got a rapid extrication required and we just need to release the lower limbs, then we're not going to be using up time doing a complete roof removal. We just need to get the dash off safely to get the casualty out this way out the vehicle. What you can see here is we're not going to do this today, we're going to do the ramming off of the A post. But an alternative you can use as a purchase point, where we've still got the door in situ, we can use the upper door hinge as a purchase point for the ram. Okay, so you can see there we're coming off the door hinge. So if someone has inadvertently cut too low on the A post, or we can't get purchase lower down on the A post, we can go off of the door hinge. But you can see here the angle, because we're going slightly at an angle from the sill support onto the hinge, that can cause us issues with the sill support now being pushed into the seat, which could encroach on the casualty, and there's a very good chance this will slip off the sill support. I've just set this up just to show you, and if you look at the pictures on the website on the upper rail dash roll, you'll see in the pictures there that we have rammed very successfully using the top door hinge. Right, what we're going to do is, as you can see here, before we ever cut the roof off or put our relief cuts in, what we need to do is tension up a ram. So if there is any risk of the dashboard dropping onto the casualty, we've already tensioned it up to stop any more movement, aggravating their injuries. You've got to remember, the windshield and the roof holds a lot of integral strength on the vehicle. Once we've compromised these rails and cut them, the dash front of the vehicle can drop onto the casualty. So I must reiterate, where you can, tension the ram up first before we cut the A post and before we do our relief cut. I know I've removed the roof here, but we've done quite a lot of evolutions on this car today, so I'm running out of space and time to do things. I can't cut the roof off myself because I've only got my camera crew here today to do it. I've been asked a lot of times, can we do the relief cut in the basic A post here with reciprocating saw instead of hydraulics? Yes you can, we're going to do that today. One of the things with hydraulics is the tool can encroach into the vehicle, onto the seat, onto the casualty, can cause us a lot of problems. Again, positioning the ram, bear in mind of the angle of the handle and where you're positioning the ram. Reciprocating saw, depending on how far the blade's going to go in, will depend on again how close it is to the casualty's lower limbs. Reciprocating saw might not be feasible because the blade's going to be touching the casualty, which obviously isn't very good. So again, use the right tool, the right technique for what you've got. Again, to aid with the ram, we could set up another ram the other side of the vehicle and ram on both sides, so that when we're finished here, created this space to the casualty, we can remove this ram, the other ram will hold it in place. As well, what we need to do is put wedges and blocks in the tear that we create, so that when we remove the ram, it also stops this from dropping down onto the casualty. Failing that, you can also ram through the centre of the vehicle straight onto the dash, push the dash away. You can also ram water off an angle and push it away here. Again, the situation will dictate what you do. Right, let's get this relief cut done. Excellent, there you go, relief cut, nice and simple, nice and smooth. Don't fight the tool, there'll be a lot of strength from metal in there, so we've got to let the tool do the work, let it just cut through nice and slowly. If you oppo there with your teardrop, making sure that that blade is getting no risk of worsening the casualty's injuries or coming into contact with the casualty. That's probably as good as, if not probably better than we would with hydraulics. Right, now we've done that, we've got all this done, we're going to ram the dash up and see what happens. Commence with the ram to see what happens. Bearing in mind it will raise up off the blocks, we need to be re-evaluating stability all the time. Right, I'm going to stop there because we've done quite a lot of damage to the vehicle and this B-post. You can see how, because we've lost integrity, this B-post is now moving down this way where we pushed it over earlier. And what we're talking about, you get your blocks, wedge them in there so that when we release the ram, we've got a little bit of space there. It's not brilliant, but just for safety reasons I don't want this shooting off of here. What we could do as an alternative is clamp our dedicated spreaders on here and ram off of those. We had a lot of issues with the sill support staying on the sill because we've got this little lip on the sill as well. It's not sitting nice and flat and digging in. As a last resort alternative, you can clamp the dedicated spreaders onto the sill and you can ram off of these. Again, a last resort because you might damage the dedicated spreaders. It does work. Okay. Again, you can see there, because we've moved the ram point from these blocks, how that's pushing that down. So if we do not pack underneath that point, we're just losing all that energy in the ram by pushing the sill, collapsing it into the ground. So ideally, I want to move these blocks that I've got under the B-post underneath this point. Well, I hope that makes sense. I know I haven't done it now, but there you go, some of the problems you can face. And here we have the dashboard roll. Then pack out this gap, lock some wedges, have another ram the other side to be redundant so that when we remove this it holds the dash up. When I release this it will flop quite a bit. Okay, that's just a very basic look at simple techniques of doing a dash roll. You can see there a lot of problems we can encounter. Bearing in mind this isn't a real incident, we haven't got any crash deformity to the vehicle, which will make this technique a lot more difficult and give us a lot more problems we need to think about. I hope that's given you something to think about and has answered some questions. It's not really a difficult technique. If you've got any problems or you've got any questions, please write into the website at mail@rtc-rescue.com. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.